Shalom. The title of this video, Keep the Shabbat or Die. This is a tough one because I know many people going to have their own opinion about this, but for me, I have to go with what the scripture says. I have to go with what the Torah says. I have to go with what the prophets have said. And I'm going to show here that, simply put, you either keep the Shabbat or you die, and it's simple. The first scripture I'm going to use is Exodus 31, and I'm going to read 14 and 15. It says, "And you shall keep the Shabbat therefore, for it is Kadash unto you. Everyone that defiles it shall surely be put to death." So right here, we're seeing that if you defile this Sabbath, you will be put to death. Whosoever do any work on it, that soul shall be cut off from amongst his people. So you was cut off. When the children of Yahusha was together, you break Shabbat, you simply was cut off. Verse 15, 6 days may work be done, but on the seventh is the Shabbat of rest. Kadash to Yahuwah. Whosoever do any work on the Shabbat, he shall surely be put to death. Now, he done mentioned this 2 times in 2 scriptures. And it was mentioned 2 times because, it's mentioned more than twice, but 2 times this close together. He's trying to get their attention here. And he's saying, you shall surely be put to death if you break the Shabbat. And now I'm going to go to Jubilees 2, and I'm going to read the 25th and the 27th verse. He created the heaven and the earth and everything that he created in 6 days. And Elohim made the 7th day Kadesh from all his works. He set it aside. This was a set apart day. Therefore he commanded on its behalf that whoever does any work shall die, and that whoever defiles it, listen, here we go again, shall surely die. So these are the exact same words that we just read in Exodus. Shall surely die. Verse 27, and whoever profanes it shall surely die, and whoever does any work shall surely die eternally. So we're seeing here your spirit, and this is where it gets deep, because we're talking more than a physical death. Now we're talking your spirit. We're talking spiritually. You're gonna die. You're gonna be separated from him for eternity because you worked on the Shabbat. That the children of Yahusha may observe this day throughout their generations and not be rooted out of the land. So if you don't, if you profaning and working on the Shabbat, this will get you kicked out of the land. For it is a Kadash day, and it's Barak. So this day is blessed. It's a blessed day. It's a Kadash day. This is a set apart day. Again, this is what he done. This is Exodus 35 and 2. 6 days shall work be done, but on the 7th day there shall be to you a Kadash day, a Shabbat of rest to Yahuwah. Whoever does work therein shall be put to death. So we're seeing here multiple scriptures. You keep the Shabbat or you die. It's that simple. This is what he's telling us. I titled this "Keep the Shabbat or Die," but this is coming from the Almighty. He's telling us to keep the Shabbat or die. I'm gonna read 2 from this is from the book of Thomas, and it's 27, and this is what it says. And this, may I add, this is Yahusha here speaking. Listen to what he said. If you do not observe the Shabbat as a Shabbat, you will not see the Father. So he's saying right here, if you don't observe the Shabbat as a Shabbat, you will not see the Father. You will be separated from him. And this is that eternal death that we just read in Jubilees. So again, these prophets and these scriptures, they're going together, and this is from him. This is Jeremiah 17 and 27. But if you will not hearken unto me to Kadosh the Sabbath day, and not to bear a burden, even enter into the gates of Jerusalem on the Shabbat day, then will I kindle a fire. This is what he promised he was going to do to them. He says, then I will kindle a fire in the gates thereof, and it shall devour the places of Jerusalem, and it shall not be quenched. So they are defiling you. He's saying you defile this day. And he's talking about setting a fire. And we know what fire does. It consumes, it burns, it destroys. He's talking about destroying them for breaking the Shabbat. Again, this is something that has to be seared in your mind, that you either keep it or you die. And that's the bottom line. You keep it or you die. This is Amos 8 and 5. Saying, when the new month, it says new moon, but we know it's new month. This is what the wicked men are saying, and you can go back and check this. I'm just paraphrasing here, and I'm picking out just the points of what's going on here. But these are wicked men, and they're trying to avoid the new months and the Shabbats. But listen, this is their thinking right here. This is what he's saying to himself. When will the new month be gone? And that we may sell corn in the Shabbat, that we may set forth wheat. So he's asking himself, this is what they're saying. When is the new month and when is the Shabbat going to be gone, so that we can sell, so that we can do wickedness? We want it to hurry up and be gone. It's not a delight to them. It's not it's not a blessing to them. It's almost as if they didn't want to have anything to do with it. Their heart wasn't with it. It goes on to say, making an ephod small and a shekel great. So here they go selling, and they're getting over, because the amount that they're selling small, but the money, the shekel, great, and falsifying the balances by deceit. Then they're going to falsify the scales. I mean, this is wickedness. Okay, the last, I'm going to read Numbers 15. I'm going to read 32 through 36. And while the children of Yahusha were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering sticks upon the Sabbath day. So I had to give an example, and this is the first account of a man breaking the Sabbath after receiving the instructions to keep it. And he was gathering sticks on the Sabbath day. And they found him gathering sticks, brought him unto Moses and Aaron and into all the congregation. And they put him in ward, because it was not declared what should be done to him. So they didn't know what to do with him. He's the first one. And Yahuwah said to Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. He's going, this was his word, and he's going according to his word. He said this man shall surely be put to death. And not only he's about to die physically, this is a spiritual separation. Remember, he's not going to see the Father. And all the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp. They had to go outside the camp to do this, and stone him with stones, and he died, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. Now this is a point I'm gonna have to make mention of. Many say, well, we're in the time of quote unquote grace. We're in a grace period. And no longer are we being put to death. Me personally, I don't agree with this grace period because it's not found in the scripture. This grace is really it's saying favor. So now what you're saying, we have favor with the Father that we don't get put to death if we break the Shabbat. I can't grasp that. His word is true. And just because his word is not being operated, Yahusha is scattered across the earth. This is the reason people don't get put to death for breaking the Shabbats. Yahusha is not together, and there is no one to carry out this command. There's no one to carry out this command. You say, well, what about the adulterous woman? They brought her before Yahusha, and they was ready to stone her. The reason they couldn't stone her, they was not without sin. They were full of sin. They were wicked men. They were wicked men. And he told her to go and sin no more. So in my point, here's the next point I must make here. Because there will be someone that says, surely that's off. Surely he's not going to kill us for not keeping the Shabbats. Oh yeah? Okay. All right. What happens in the wilderness? Yeah, let's talk about the wilderness. What will happen in the wilderness? In the wilderness, he's going to gather his people. There will be commands given. Anyone break it, including the Shabbat. I'm going to start right there. Anyone break the Shabbat in the wilderness after getting the command, you will be put to death. Point blank. That's the reason 2/3 will get cut off. Now, for those 2/3 that's going to get cut off, where is their grace? If there's a such thing called grace period, where is their grace? And there will be someone in the wilderness to make sure that get carried out. Where is your favor? So someone gonna have to give me an explanation. You mean the favor kicks in and then it gets cut off? That doesn't make sense. And you're just gonna have to, again, I'm going into an area that most don't go in. I'm going in an area that most don't talk about, but that's what I promise on this channel. You will hear things on this channel you may not hear anywhere else. There is no elder over me, and I can freely share what he have shown me. This is the reason, when someone have an elder over them, they can't make a video like this and just show and tell what he's revealed to them, and then they withhold information. And this is what I saw, and this is what I see, and it's nothing right about it. But again, 2/3 will be cut off. So you make it to the wilderness, hey, that's great, but just make sure that you don't be part of the 2/3 that will get cut off. 2/3 will get cut off, and 1/3 will go through the fire. I know this is a heartfelt message. I probably put a warning out because it needs to be said that this one is no joke. This is not the one to be playing with, because he will honor his word. This guy was getting sticks on the Sabbath day. I mean, you would think to get killed because he's getting sticks on the Sabbath day, you don't know the importance of this day. This day is the highest. I've read it to you. This is the highest day, and it's above all the other days. All other days. And so, gathering sticks will get you killed. And for the 2/3 that's gonna be in the wilderness, if you got that grace thing on your mind, you better get rid of it. You better wipe it off, because there is no grace. There is no grace period. There is no favor period. Just because no one's here today to carry out his word, there will be those there carrying out his word when the time comes. Shalom.